Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 list. And today's top 10 list is going to be the top 10 movies I'm thankful for. So, this was an idea that the Blue Limit Soldiers had. If you don't know who they are, they consisted of WrestleManiac 1130, The Visual Expression, Blu-ray Outlaw, and I forgot the fourth guy's name, but apologies. But it consists of those four guys, and they had this idea for top 10 movies that they're thankful for the most and stuff. And they want everybody to do their own video, so I figured why not I do my own video. I thought this would be a fun little video to do, so yeah, let's just get right into it. So here we go with the top 10 movies I am the most thankful for. So coming in at number 10, ladies and gentlemen, is Mad Max Fury Road. Although this movie only came out last year, I'm really thankful for this movie because it was a movie that I was just so captivated by and so just mind blown by. Like, really, it was such an incredible movie when it came to its action, to its its characters and everything, to its directing, just its practical effects, you know what I mean? Everything about this movie really just blew me away, and I absolutely loved Mad Max Fury Road. It's an absolutely incredible movie. I love Mad Max Fury Road, and I'll never forget that first experience watching for the first time last year and everything, and just seeing how they did the movie and everything. It was just phenomenal. I loved it. I was just so speechless. Literally, I was speechless at the end of it. Like, it was just so incredible. So yeah, my number 10 is Mad Max Fury Road. Number 9, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Now, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I saw this movie as, like, with a lot of these movies, a lot of the experiences are going to come from when I was a kid. Only 3 out of the 10 movies, really, are, not, I didn't watch as a kid, but most of them are. Number 9, with E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I saw this, as a little kid. I grew up on a lot of Steven Spielberg movies. Steven Spielberg, is still to this day my favorite director. I saw things from, like, Jurassic Park, all 3 Indiana Jones movies, even Jaws I saw as a kid. Not the best movie to see as a kid, but whatever. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I love. I remember this was the one I watched the most because it just seriously made me feel like I was on an adventure. Like, seriously, I felt like I was on an adventure watching this movie, and just everything from the incredible acting performances to the incredible directing with the movie to the awesome finale of the movie. Seriously, one of the best finales to a film, I think, maybe ever. E.T. the Extraterrestrial just is a film that really, holds a lot of meaning to me, and I still very much enjoy the movie to this day. So yeah, number 9, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Number 8, The Lion King. The Lion King, 2 animated films are on this list. The other one we'll get into later on this list. The Lion King, this was another movie because I loved Disney, as I'm pretty sure we all did as a kid, and even still to this day. And I remember this being the Disney movie I watched the most, like, out of any of them. Like, I love stuff like Aladdin or, like, The Little Mermaid or stuff like that, but really The Lion King was really the one that I remember always watching every single time because I just loved, from the stuff with the music to just the beautiful, gorgeous animation with the movie and everything. I was just so captivated by The Lion King. Like, The Lion King is still an incredible movie to this day. If you somehow have never seen this movie, you really are missing out because The Lion King is such a beautiful animated film, and it's still to this day my favorite Disney animated film of all time. So my number 8 is The Lion King. Number 7, X2, X-Men United. Now, X2 was really my introduction to, like, comic book superheroes. Of course, as you all know, if you know my channel, I was really huge into the Power Rangers and stuff, and those are obviously superheroes, but really X2 was my first introduction to like comic book superheroes and superhero movies just in general. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, I loved it. You know, as a kid, of course you're gonna go crazy for something like this. Like, you're seeing a dude with like metal claws coming out of his hands, and he's practically invincible. You know, he's practically invincible. You know, of course you're gonna find stuff like that cool as a kid, and I just remember seeing it just being just, wow, just like losing my mind because of how cool it was as a kid and everything. And that's when I watched movies like Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2. I went back to the first X-Men and stuff. You know, that's why that's why I got really into comic book movies, and you know, my love for movies like The Dark Knight or The Avengers and stuff. It's more or less thanks to this movie, because this is the movie that really got me into the comic book movies when I was a kid, and that's the reason why I love superheroes to this day. It's because of this film right here, X2, X-Men United. So that's why this movie means a lot to me. So, comes in at number 7. Number 6. Number 6 is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, just, I love Ghostbusters. Like, I will never forget the first time I ever saw the movie. Like, seriously. Like, you know, I remember we were all sitting down, just watching the movie together and everything, and it just made me laugh, you know, made me laugh my socks off, I don't know. It just made me laugh hysterically, basically. And I just remember finding this movie so hilarious, and just, you know, and then when we get to the scene, like, of course, you know, the scene with the librarian and stuff, and the monster pops up. I remember when I first saw that, I actually fell off my chair because of how, like, just all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, that just came and just scared the pants off me. And I'll just never forget that. And the movie still makes me laugh to this day, obviously. You know, it's my 4th favorite film of all time. And, you know, it really means a lot to me. And that's why Ghostbusters comes in at number 6. Number 5. Now, number 5 and number 4 are really connected with each other in some ways. I'll explain once I talk about both movies. So, but first coming at number 5 is The Crow. Now, my experience with The Crow is simple. Okay, at the time, okay, from 2009 all the way to 2000, like, I want to say like August of 2013, I was in a huge wrestling phase. Like, I loved wrestling. Wrestling was like my life at that point. Like, seriously, like, everything I talked about was wrestling, because that's what I loved at the time. I still do like wrestling, but I won't say I loved it as much as I did, like, back in those years. And then I heard about, like, movie reviews, you know, like movie reviewers and stuff, and I saw it online and stuff. I was like, you know, this is pretty cool. I think I like this. And I heard a lot of people talk about this movie called The Crow. And, you know, I was like, okay, that sounds like a cool movie. And then one day I remember, like, my dad was flipping through channels and he saw the sequel on, the Crow City of Angels, you know, the god-awful sequel. And he was like, you know, have you ever seen the first movie? I said, I've never seen the first movie. And I said, it was on Netflix. And he said, do you want to watch it? Sure. So we watched it. And by the end of it, I was amazed. Like, really, I was amazed by the movie. And this was really the movie that made me look at films in a completely different way. And let me explain why. Because, you know, I've always loved films and everything, always loved them and stuff. But for some reason, this movie, and then the next one I'll talk about, really made me look at films just in just a complete different mindset. Like, with the atmosphere of this movie and everything, just like the gorgeous directing with the film, and, you know, the whole performance from Brandon Lee and stuff, it's just, I don't know, it made me look at movies in just a completely different way. And I was just so captivated and so amazed by The Crow. And, you know, I've seen the movie multiple times. I mean, every, like, October 30th, which is like Devil's Night in the movie, I watch it every like year. It's like a tradition with me now. And it's just such a fantastic movie. I still watch it to this day, and I love it very, very much. So that's why The Crow comes in at number 5. Number 4 is The Matrix. The Matrix, you know, literally, I'm not even joking. I literally saw this like 3 days after I saw The Crow, so I basically saw them almost simultaneously. And I saw this movie 3 days later, and my dad and I, we decided to watch another movie together. So we were flipping through like the on-demand channels, seeing what was on. And then I believe it's like Cinemax, I think that's what the channel's called. Saw The Matrix on there. I said, that's another movie at the time I heard many great things about, like how like amazing the film was. So I was like, okay, why not? Just let's watch the movie. So we did. By the end of it, he really liked it. Me, I couldn't speak. Like seriously, I was just speechless by the end of this movie because it was like something I had never seen in a film before. Like really, at the time, obviously, I never had seen like stuff like that in the movie with its visual presentation and with its like amazing directing and its awesome action choreographed scenes. Like just really like everything about The Matrix just seriously blew my mind. I don't think a movie has really blown my mind really as much as The Matrix has. And like from all like the action scenes, from like the bank, like the bank scene, the bank shootout, or like from the end scene with like Agent Smith and Neo like fighting each other, or like or of course the famous bullet time scene. Like really, when I saw that scene for the first time, I'll never forget. I was just like, what? Like I just couldn't believe what I was watching on screen because it was unlike anything I had ever seen on screen before. So that's, if it wasn't for both The Crow and The Matrix, I don't think like I would be back into my phase of movies, because it was really thanks to those movies I really got back into film. And I don't know if this channel would even be about movies if I didn't see those two films. So I very much thank those two movies, because if it wasn't for those two movies, I would never be back into films, I don't think. So that's why The Matrix comes in at number 4. Number 3. Dude, Where's My Car? Okay, odd movie. Yes, I know, odd movie to probably put in a list kind of like this. But let me explain. Let me explain why. As a kid, a very, very, small kid, like, I did see this movie, and I just remember laughing hysterically. I just remember, very much just laughing throughout the entire movie and just loving it. And what my mom has told me, I would like just quote the movie like every single moment I would get. You know what I mean? And just another funny story she told me. She told me one time that they put the baby monitor like near me, the baby monitor's near me and stuff, and one of my cousins like put like decided to take the other baby monitor and just say like, and then like in the scene with Ashton Kutcher and the Chinese thing. And I would beat up the baby monitor because, like in in the film, Ashton Kutcher beats up the Chinese food thing, and it's just, I just like, wow, a movie like as simple as this. Think about it, a movie like this, that really maybe probably doesn't have that much meaning to a lot of people, can just have so many memories with me and everything. And it's still a movie I love to this day. Still laugh hysterically at it. Even though the many, many times I've seen this movie, I've seen this maybe about 1 billion times, to be honest, like I'm dead serious. And it's just still a movie that I laugh constantly at, and I just love it to this day. So yeah. Number 2 is the original Star Wars trilogy. I was going to originally just put Empire Strikes Back on here, but you know what? I was like, I have to put all 3 movies in here, because all 3 movies really have a special meaning to me, because I remember my mom bought this original, like it was like this Star Wars DVD box set. It had all 3 of the original films on it. I was like very little when I saw all 3 movies, and I just remember watching the very first Star Wars film and just being so blown away and just so captivated by the world of Star Wars, like the whole with Tatooine and stuff and all the other planets. Like I was just so captivated by all of it, and just like with the whole Jedis and Sith, it just captivated me so much as a kid with all 3 of these movies. With of course with Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It's just, if anybody asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up, literally as a kid I would say a Jedi, because that's how much I loved Star Wars. I would always pretend I was either Luke or Darth Vader or Han Solo, because I just loved all these movies so much. And even to this day, I still love all these movies. I mean, Star Wars is still going strong. I mean, Star Wars The Force Awakens was great. They got Rogue One coming out next month. So the franchise is still going strong. Sure, yeah, 2 out of the 3 prequels weren't the greatest. You know, I do love Revenge of the Sith, unlike most people. But, you know, but the original trilogy is always going to be forever the one that always has the most meaning to me and everything. And I just love these movies. Still to this day, you know, I love Star Wars. I love Empire Strikes Back. I love Return to Jedi. Return to Jedi, excellent. I still don't get why people don't like it. But still, Empire, all 3 movies I very much love, and they all have a huge meaning to me. So yeah, number 2 is the original Star Wars trilogy. Now number 1, this is probably the most predictable number 1 ever. I think a lot of people know which one is going to be my number 1, but you know what? My number 1 is Toy Story. Obviously, this is the movie I'm most thankful for. Obviously, come on. Because if it wasn't for this movie, it's the reason I love movies. Like, this is the reason why I love films. It's the movie I obviously have watched the most. You know, I remember my mom would tell me, like, she would have her or someone else just, like, constantly rewind the movie because that's how much I loved it. She said she was surprised that I didn't wear out the VHS tape. Like, seriously, because of how many times I would just rewind the movie back to the beginning and stuff. Literally, when it ended, I would just rewind it back. And, you know, obviously, I still love the movie to this day and everything. It's still my favorite movie of all time. Like, after so many years, it's still my favorite movie of all time because it's just the movie that means the most to me. It's the movie that has the most meaning to me and everything. And just watching it so many times as a kid and just loving it so much. And just watching it now, I'm still, you know, I still feel like a kid every time I watch it. I always go back to those memories of always watching it as a kid. Every time I see it on TV or just whenever I have it on and everything, it's just, every time I just see the poster, you know what I mean? Just look at the poster now, it just takes me back. Because just of how many times I've watched it and just how much I just love the movie. You know what I mean? And if it was, like I said, if it wasn't for this movie, I don't know, like, if I would have ever found my love for films, because this is the movie that really made me love films. So I'm very much grateful for this movie. This is obviously the movie I'm the most thankful for. So that's my number 1, Toy Story. So that's the top 10 movies I'm most thankful for. This was a fun video to do. Please go subscribe to the Blue Limit Soldiers. They're an awesome group. And I'm going to put their channel in the link in the description. And you can subscribe to their individual channels as well. But I'm more or less just going to put their collab channel in the description below. Check out the Blue Limit Soldiers. This was an awesome thing to do. Very much enjoyed doing this video. So, now, I leave the question to you. What are the top 10 movies you're most thankful for? Leave in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you all later. Peace.